So good afternoon guys, welcome to this live session. Hope you guys are doing fine. So in this section we are going to cover the parliamentary bills part 3. Now I hope you guys have revised the syllabus and the PDF for parliamentary bills part 3 has it been uploaded Word doc. Many of you were requesting for the Word document which is ready now. Word doc upload ho gaya, Word doc I am talking about. 8 minutes, let me confirm. संतोष has it been uploaded? एक बार राहुल को बुलाओ. So let's begin with the discussion. We've already covered very many over here, and we are talking about the center-state relations, right? This was a topic which came into discussion. PDF Word doc का upload कर दिया. Word doc. बोलो जल्दी जल्दी करें उन्हें. So it will be uploaded. You guys are saying that it has been uploaded, but my team is telling it has not been uploaded yet. Word doc नहीं है. Word doc अभी half an upload हो जाएगा, right? Private member bill and these things are covered already, right? So request you all to be regular with it. Okay, Word doc document अभी share कर दिया जाएगा, right? So don't worry. One sec. Center State PPT, yes, has it been shared, the updated one? Center State PPT, the updated one must have been shared by now. Let me check. So I request all of you to be regular with this course. Now the PPTs that are being designed, they would be highly PT and mains oriented. Prelims element has been toned up now, the prelim related content and details, right? So just a humble request as an educator, whatever I could do is I could only request you guys. So I'm doing that. एक मिनट रुक जाओ. इतनी PPT is there. One sec. Current affairs course. Center state. Let me just ask them. ठीक है मैं कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है. शेयर आप कर दो डिस्कशन कर दिया. Sorry, so updated one has been shared, right? So a PDF with the name Center State Relations PDF Prelims has been shared already. You can check that. Has it been shared? So this is it. Table of contents, Interstate Council. So in May 2018, Interstate Council Standing Committee. Interstate Council is headed by, this question is very important, it has been asked many times in prelims. So Interstate Council is headed by Prime Minister, right, Varun. Now Interstate Council Standing Committee meetings, they are headed by टेलीग्राम वाला, ट्विटर वाला. इस पे वो सर्च करना डिवाइन डीड्स व्हाट्सएप में, देन इट विल सर्च आउट. नाउ दिस इज देयर, राइट? So they are standing committee, they are headed by this home minister, right? So it completed its deliberations on Panchi Commission every year. Last year, this same discussions happened in the year August 2000, in the month of August 2017, right? So last time पे ये discussions तब हुई थी. Background: the government has set up the first commission on center-state relations 1983 under the chairmanship of Justice R.S. Sarkaria to review the existing arrangements between the center and the states. Right now, Sarkaria Commission had made 247 recommendations in its reports. So recommendations are 247. They are bulky in themselves. Clear? So this is there. Now it recommended for permanent interstate council. Question for mains. First of all, prelims के लिए ये important हो जाता है सरकारिया कमीशन recommendations, because सरकारिया कमीशन recommendations and other recommendations, they are normally not asked, because these commissions, mind the fact for prelims, these commissions are not constitutional commissions. Sarkaria commission, these are ad hoc commissions. What is constitutional? Like finance commission, their recommendations are important, right? But since Sarkaria commission recommendation is being discussed, so it had set up, it has recommended a permanent interstate council. In 1990, interstate council was established by Gazette notification, and it was last reconstituted by Gazette notification dated 27th October. So this member state home ministers are the members, and union home minister is the chairperson of the same. Clear? Union home minister is the chairperson. Now, interstate council and present government. Under the NDA government, ISC meeting in 2016 was held after a gap of 10 years, and that was also on the orders of Supreme Court. Supreme Court reminded the central government of its pious yet neglected duty, that of having these meetings. The institution of ISC standing committee as well as zonal councils were rejuvenated and regular meetings held to promote harmonious center-state relations. Okay, regular meetings were held to promote center-state relations. Now, Panchi Commission ने Panchi Commission government ने Panchi Commission set up किया था 2010 में report आई थी इसकी. It also submitted 273 recommendations on center-state relations. So, the Interstate Council Standing Committee, it eases the job of Prime Minister. How? Prime Minister is the chairperson of Interstate Council. For Standing Committee, Home Minister is the chairperson. Standing Committee meetings, they do not take place regularly, and that is why Supreme Court had reminded the government कि ये meeting करवाओ. So the contours क्या-क्या discuss किया गया था, 263 पहले study करते हैं. 263 of the Constitution provides for establishment of Interstate Council. Composition of Interstate Council, Prime Minister is the chairperson of Interstate Council. Prelims के लिए बार-बार repeat कर रहा हूँ. Whereas the chairperson of Standing Committee of Interstate Council is Home Minister. Chief Minister of all these states are members. Chief Minister of Union Territories having Legislative Assembly, and administrators of UTs not having Legislative Assemblies, members. 6 ministers of cabinet rank, Union Council ministers, are to be nominated by Prime Minister. They also are members. This is the composition. Committees on Center State, Administrative Reforms Commission, फर्स्ट ARC जिसे बोला जाता है 1969 में राजा मन्नार कमेटी बोला जाता है, और फर्स्ट ARC. देन आनंदपुर साहिब रेजोल्यूशन 1973, राइट. वेस्ट बंगाल मेमोरेंडम. सो इन सब में ये काउंसिल काम आती है, राइट. दिस काउंसिल वाज रिकमेंडेड बाय सरकारिया कमीशन, पंची कमीशन, फर्स्ट ARC also. 263 is a constitutional provision, right. It shall be lawful for the President to establish an interstate council for inquiring, discussing and advising upon disputes which may have arisen between the states. B. Subjects in which some or all of the states or union and one or more of the states have a common interest. Such subjects, and in particular recommendations for better coordination of the policy and action with respect to that subject. अब इसमें होता क्या है समझते हैं. Niti Aayog, my dear friends, Niti Aayog is created under which article? Can anyone tell me? Not the students who have been in my polity batch, not those. Please, those of you who are from polity, they should not answer. ठीक है, morally you should not answer. You are like ठीक है, पता होगा, but please do not answer. Let others try their luck. नहीं, which article is it? ठंडा ही दे देना. Article 77, right? President may make rules for convenient transactions of business of government. Sorry, I'm taking this slow for the throat problem. President should make rules, and under the rules, all the ministries and departments. Is there any law behind the creation of ministry? No, there is no law behind the creation of ministry. Is there any law behind the creation of? Was there any law behind the creation of president? This planning commission? No. Right. So these are called executive bodies. They are created by executive resolution. They are created by executive resolution, and they can be dismantled by an executive resolution. Article 77. UIDAI, Unique Identification Development Authority of India, it was a statutory body. It was a executive body created by executive. Created by government for smooth transaction of business of government. खींच के बंद कर दो. Right. UIDAI. Now UIDAI Act came in 2016, then it became a statutory body. Until then this was there. Now the problem is Niti Aayog is an executive body. Why is the government not creating a body under Article 263? Interstate Council, why is it not being used? It is created but it is not being used. Some other bodies are used, something else is used, right? But constitutional bodies have been relegated. They are not being used. Okay. When we say that it is written that Niti Aayog is an extra constitutional, why? Basically, I will tell you now the difference between statutory bodies. Some bodies are constitutional bodies. Some bodies are statutory bodies. Some bodies are non-statutory bodies, or they are called extra constitutional. This nomenclature, I don't know, I'm in the process of writing my book Polity Pe. So I was thinking of what do you mean by extra constitutional, extra legal measures. When we say that police authorities, they apply extra legal measures. Extra legal measures क्या होते हैं? गैर कानूनन. Extra constitutional मतलब गैर संवैधानिक. This is what we would, how we would translate it into English. Extra constitutional. No, we can say that this is a non-constitutional body. Extra constitutional sounds like unconstitutional, right? Beyond the scope of unconstitutional bhi nahi. Extra constitutional means like beyond the scope of constitution. No body can exist for even a one day, one single hour beyond the scope of constitution. If it is beyond the scope of constitution, everything that is happening in the country, polity called India, it is happening under the scope of constitution. So the usage of term extra constitutional is wrong. Don't use it in your interview, right? Extra could be ultra vires, exactly. Non-constitutional means it is not given in the constitution, this body. Clear? Right, so this is there. Now when we say that it is extra constitutional, it is just saying that this body is not mentioned, like CAG is mentioned under Article 148, 324, Central Election Commission. Okay, these are constitutional bodies. And what are statutory bodies? Statutory bodies are bodies which provision for which is there in some act of the parliament. UIDAI was earlier non-statutory body. It is proper to name them as non-statutory body. This means that there was no act. Act means statute. Statutory body means provisions for which are given in the statute. Okay. Statutory body. So now extra constitutional or statutory body का मतलब ये है UIDAI became a statutory body when Unique Identification Development Authority of India UIDAI Act was passed in 2016. This act contains the provisions for creation of this body. RBI Act. RBI is a statutory body. It's a non-constitutional body because no article is there talking about the constitution, about the RBI. Clear? So this is the difference between constitutional, statutory and then non-statutory. No body is non-constitutional body. No extra constitutional body. Right? Now, my point is, when our great constitution, RBI Act, it makes RBI a statutory body. Statutory matlab lawful, law body having a law of its own. CBI is a statutory body, yes. Delhi Special Police Establishment Act creates the enabling provision for CBI. RTI Act creates the enabling provisions for Central Information Commission. Clear? So CIC is a statutory body or a constitutional body? It is a statutory body. Even though RTI is a fundamental right, talking indirectly given in or read into Article 19 Clause 1. Supreme Court inferred right to information. It took out right to information from Article 19 Clause 1 subclause A, right? So RBI Act 1934. RBI was created in 1935. Just for the factual correction, okay? So this is there. Now, facts have been covered. What is the analysis? Analysis is if our constitution has created a constitutional body. Sorry, I think RBI Act 1935 is there. RBI was created in 19 something like that is there. Act is of 1935 maybe. Now, constitutional body. If constitution makers, they created a constitutional body, we should respect that. Functions which are being given to non-statutory bodies or non-constitutional bodies, when there is a provision for constitutional bodies to take care of the functions which are being given to Niti Aayog, should we not respect that? Okay, 1934, right? RBI was created in 1935, right? RBI Act is of 1934, I think. So, we should respect the constitutional bodies. But there is a culture of creation of new bodies which are not regulated by constitutional article. Why is it that? Analysis. Why do governments want Nehru government to Modi government? All the governments, they have created new bodies which are not envisaged directly in the article. Niti Aayog to Planning Commission. Mr. Modi says Planning Commission was undemocratic. It was not. It's democratic. Okay. So basically, rules could be molded as per the requirement. Yes. If you create a body under constitutional article, Supreme Court would get the rights because the scope of that body would be to some extent regulated by article given in the constitution because constitution is written. So that body would have to work within the broader framework given in that article, written in that constitution. But if you create a new body under Article 77, then that body would be, the powers of that body, the scope of functioning, broad or narrow, would be defined in the Act itself. Is it clear? It would be defined in the resolution, not the Act. It would be defined in the resolution passed by the Parliament. So Parliament can manipulate the working. Niti Aayog would do this. Niti Aayog would do that. Thereby, this Article 263 remains a dead letter, dead article. Successive committees and commissions, as we saw, they have recommended that don't use extra constitutional word in your answers or in interview especially. Okay, it means that every statutory body, every non-statutory body is a body created under Article 77. Article 77 has been blown, usage of Article 77 has been blown out of its proportion. ऐसा सोचा नहीं गया था. Article 77 was President can make rules for more convenient transactions of Union of India, Union government. Non-constitutional, you can say. Okay, so it is a non-constitutional body, you can say, right? Or non-statutory body also. Non-statutory body, non-constitutional body, either of the terms you can use. Clear? Now, अब ऐसे बॉडीज बनाई जाती हैं और उन बॉडीज के फंक्शंस मनमाने तरीके से, पहले प्लानिंग कमीशन फिर नीति आयोग. Don't you think that planning commission and Niti Ayog, when they are created beyond the scope of this article, they are actually taking the life out of this dead letter? It is already dead because it has not been put to use. Why do they talk about cooperative federalism when the most important article dealing with cooperative federalism has been made to continue as a dead letter? Call the leader who uses this, right? Ask him 263 को defunct क्यों रख रखा है? Ask him or her, right? Whosoever the leader is. So if the spirit is right, if the intention is right, 263 body article, if the leaders, they respect constitutional, if they respect constitution, they should respect the constitutional articles also, right? Now, respect the leader who respects the constitution, because it is the gift of people of India to themselves. If nobody respects that, then if the leader does not respect that, why should we respect the leader? Charisma. Now, Article 263, clear? Additional information. It will also remain a recommendatory body. Its advice is not going to be binding on the the members. Clear? Yes, Sparsh. It boils down to what Sparsh has written in the comment section. So those of you who make online notes or otherwise, they can use it this way. सबका हो गया? नहीं हुआ. मिला ही. Okay. So this is there. It is not a permanent constitutional body, but it can be established at any time if it appears to the president. Okay. It is not a permanent constitutional body. But if it is established by it can be established by the president and in the public interest. If the president thinks that public interest would better be served by the establishment of such a council. Now let us side by side talk about the utility of that body. How many of you heard about the stubble burning problem in the northern states? I've given these examples in polity, so we are talking about stubble burning. So Punjab, Haryana, UP and New Delhi, Delhi was struggling with the problem of smog. Smoke plus fog in Delhi in the wintry seasons because of stubble burning. Okay, then ad hoc level, then also our people who talk about cooperative federalism, okay, they were not doing anything. Okay, then a meeting was called after the Chief Minister of Punjab said ki we should do something in a joint manner. Okay, Delhi Chief Minister was struggling. Arvind Kejriwal, already he keeps on coughing, no? So problem got aggravated in his case. So he said ki we should do something. Then Union Home Minister was reminded of constituting a meeting. That meeting also, I respect the leaders a lot. Okay, it is just you guys are, you guys want some, masala in this. So that's why I use these kind of examples. Otherwise, now, this is there. Then Union Home Minister was reminded of this thing. Okay, let's constitute a body. Then also that body was constituted on ad hoc basis. Right? It was working on ad hoc basis. It was not something like, कि zonal council या उसकी meeting करी गई थी. Ideally, bodies are there. These bodies should be resorted to. Okay, so these bodies should be standing bodies, standing on permanent basis. Okay, ad hoc bodies नहीं बनाई जानी चाहिए. इनकी meetings periodically होनी चाहिए. To respect. Zonal councils are likewise. They are a second layer. Zonal councils. Okay. Now standing committee of council was set up in 1996 for continuous consultation. Prime Minister is a busy functionary, so that is why Home Minister remains in home. He remains in foreign, right? So he will remain in home. He will take care of at least the standing committee meetings and processing of matters for the consideration of the council. Committee is assisted by Interstate Council Secretariat set up in 1991 and headed by a secretary to Government of India. Now, very many other problems can be solved. Whenever some news regarding bird flu is there, then states are grappling with this kind of problem. Okay, for water we have got interstate water disputes ke liye we have got a separate act, article 262. We are talking about 263, right? So 263 mein problem of pollution, problem of some other transportation or जो भी चीजें चलती हैं, those or bird flu etc. These problems could be covered under this thing, under zonal councils or interstate council. Interstate council, if it would be revived, problems like water disputes could also be covered under this. Very important article for cooperative federalism, right? If the question comes, where all do you think cooperative federalism is envisaged in our constitution? Article 262, 263, right? They talk about cooperative federalism. And there are other articles also in the financial arena. Article 293, cooperative federalism was envisaged for. 293 clause 3, loan borrowing, the other power that we were discussing while borrowing the money, right? So this is there. Now key functions 282 also, right? Key functions of interstate concurrent list, article 246, list 3, concurrent list. Cooperation was assumed while framing such a list. Is it clear? 280 also you can write, planning finance commission. Now to monitor the implementation of decisions taken on the recommendations of interstate council, to process all the matters relating to center state. Now club these articles and jot them down somewhere, give the heading. Articles envisaged for in the constitution talking about cooperative federalism. Now to consider any other matter referred to it by the chairperson or interstate council. Electoral reforms, simultaneous polls when prime minister was talking about. Okay, so idea of these kind of things, they could be shared. And one important thing, very important, which is important in the light of controversy that is going on around the topic of finance commission. The terms of reference of finance commission have been decided by central government unilaterally. Can we not, in the true spirit of cooperative federalism, can we not discuss the terms of reference in interstate council created under this article? Other problems, it would be advantageous for the executive, union and the state level. It would be very, very advantageous if they respect the constitution. When judiciary had repealed, when judiciary comes up with the judgments which are full of judicial overreach or judicial activism is good. I go for that. Okay, I would support judicial activism, right? I would explain today itself. Have I not explained the finance commission related controversy in this batch? Haven't I covered in this batch? So Sparsh, where were you? Sparsh, where were you? Abhi he will not answer. Otherwise he is a very obedient student. But then अभी छुप जाएंगे, है ना? क्या ढूंढ रहे हो? बुरका ढूंढ रहे हो? वापस आओ इधर, फटाफट बताओ. Answer yes or no. Where were you? समझ नहीं आया. अच्छा, समझ नहीं आया. क्लास अटेंड नहीं करी थी. सच सच बताओ. Nation wants to know. सच सच बताओ. करी थी. अच्छा, I will explain that again. Wait. So judicial overreach, right? Whenever such kind of instances are there, NJAC is National Judicial Appointments Commission. All the states, 15 states, they have. I will explain again. My fault then. If you had to watch the video 2 times, it was my fault. So, Whenever these kind of issues arise, 15 state governments, state legislative assemblies had passed the NJAC Act. Judiciary repealed it. So central government was working at, there because of the competitive politics, they could not, state government should have clubbed up and should have given a joint force. They should have joined their force and they should have said that this is wrong on the part of judiciary to repeal, judiciary to nullify NJAC Constitutional Amendment Act, right? GST Council के दौरान, GST, the State Council of Finance Ministers was constituted to arrive at a consensus for GST. Could we not have used Article 263? हम Article 263 बना सकते थे. State Finance Ministers की कमेटी बनाई गई थी ad hoc basis पे कि एक आम सहमति बनाई जा सके. That we could arrive at a consensus. Rather than forming committees on these issues, we can use Article 263, right? Whenever there is some problem facing the nation, we can have, if the NJAC would be functioning, if the NJAC would be having a permanent interstate council, it could give advice, it could have the, it could serve us very well, it could serve the nation very well. River water linking. Note down these points. River water interlinking. The project is in limbo because Prime Minister, whosoever be the Prime Minister or the Union government representatives, the senior ministers, they talk to states only when some central government, matlab is involved. APMC Act, note down, APMC Act reform is not taking place. Union Ministry of Agriculture has passed a model bill. It has introduced a model bill for states to adopt. Agriculture is a state subject. Nothing is happening on Agriculture Produce and Marketing Committees Act. So to arrive at consensus on these type of issues which are of national importance, national, yes, labor reform. Now you can fill the details, right? My agenda was just to give you that trigger. Now that you've got the trigger, you can fill in the details. Every day you come across examples, you can fill in, use those examples or controversies in this, right? Railway networking, etc., right? The problem of railway crossings and the people dying on railway crossings, etc. This can be done in a very well manner, right? Land reforms, etc., cooperative farming. So many issues are there which are reflecting. So central government contacts the state governments whenever some important issue is involved. That is why state governments think that हमें तो मतलब के लिए बुलाया जाता है, right? मतलब की दोस्ती हम नहीं करेंगे. So if rapport would be there, mutual exchange of views on a continuous basis or periodic basis would be there, state governments would come on board. Clear? Saying that cooperative federalism is there and operationalizing cooperative federalism through the constitutional articles, they are altogether different things. Intent and action should match. Is it clear? ड्रग मेनेस का भी दिया था शुभम. पॉलिटी झड़ लो सारी पॉलिटी. हाँ, नाइस. ड्रग मेनेस की प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने के लिए, राइट? मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग की प्रॉब्लम, विमेन ट्रैफिकिंग की प्रॉब्लम, सो मेनी प्रॉब्लम्स आर देयर. इंटरस्टेट क्राइम, राइट? एंड दैट वे, नाउ योर पॉइंट हैज रिमाइंडेड मी, वी हैव गॉट CBI. Whenever some sensational cases like D.K. Ravi being killed in the state of Karnataka, D.K. Ravi, an honest IAS officer, sensational crime comes, Karnataka government handed over the inquiry to CBI after a gap of 4 or 5 days. CID by then had already done a lot of work, right? So we can have Federal Bureau of Investigation because crimes of not central nature, crime occurs in a state only. By the time it takes for handing over of the crime investigation from the state government to central government, within that time frame, when the criminals are of international nature, IS like dangers are there in our country, okay, some cases have been discovered, money laundering, etc., we need an FBI. But would the states cooperate? If you want the states to cooperate for FBI, they would cooperate if mutual exchange is there, give and take is there. If you only think of taking, burden yourself with chit fund scam. Chit fund scam in West Bengal, every state is a victim of scams, okay? So if you would have cooperated with the state on other aspects without politicization, states would have come on board. Article 263 is a golden entry for cooperative federalism. Clear? Yes, everywhere. Karnataka police is the Karnataka CID versus CBI in DK Ravi case. It is said that it is said that this is laughable. These are chinks in the Indian investigation system. What happens is they say that first of all the matter investigation is state CID matter investigation in the particular matter is referred to CID. State CID destroys the proof. When people start crying that in the DK Ravi case, people started crying that matter be referred to CBI. After state CIDs, it is said that their job is to destroy the proof. Once they destroy the proof, then matter is referred to CBI, right? Because CBI would not be able to find anything. They take away whatever proof has been left over by the criminals. That is what happened in Gauri Lankesh case, right? So many allegations are there, Gauri Lankesh, etc., right? So ये वही वाला काम है, तुम अपनी गलती छुपा देते हो पेरेंट्स के आने से पहले. My parents, they were, they're working in government, right? So before they used to come, two of my elder siblings, I am the youngest one, so they would hide everything. मतलब कुछ हुआ ही नहीं, भाई बहन में झगड़ा होता था तो they would hide everything before the CBI comes. So that is the case. Now own experiences. So this is what happens. Now it divides zonal councils. Zonal councils, they divide the country into 5 zones. Northern, central, eastern, western and southern zones are there. So respective problems of these zones, the problems of southern states are peculiar to southern states, right? Northeastern Council. Northeastern Council. It is created by a separate act of parliament, the Northeastern Council Act of 1971. These serve the job of national integration. Which articles deal with national integration? Articles 262, Articles 263. National integration is very important, right? Members include Assam, Manipur, Mizoram. Sometimes this question is asked, कौन सी states आती है Northeastern Council में? Sikkim also comes, okay? Arunachal also comes. Just memorize their names. Northern zonal councils comprising the states of Haryana. You can memorize their names. Okay, I'm leaving it to you. So just memorize Western zonal council. A little confusing. It is a little confusing, right? Then Eastern also is confusing. West Bengal comes in the Eastern, not in the Northeastern. Central May, it is a little easier, right? If the projects, first of all, the matter would be dealt with in the zonal council. This is overlapping actually. There is some duplication of functions is there. Naturally, it is bound to arise. But then, this is the way out. That first of all, zonal councils should decide. Zonal council would come into play when the matter is confined to that particular zone. Northern zone. Smoke problem, like stubble burning problem is there, right? So those kind of problems. If it is a dispute related to Krishna, Kaveri, southern states are there. Kaveri water dispute, southern states, so zonal problem, right? If it is about river interlinking, which is a national project, or inland navigation, or seaports, they are clogged. Seaport traffic is to be rationalized. Then zonal council will come into play. River interlinking is involved, then interstate council. Clear? When the intervention of central government is involved, then interstate council would be better forum. Sikkim Northeast, यहाँ पढ़ो, पॉलिटी में दे रखा है ये. Now Sparsh, your other doubt, पॉलिटी लक्ष्मीकांत में दिया है ना ये सब, यहाँ पे भी दिया है, इसे खुद पढ़ोगे, factual information. Now terms of reference. What is terms of reference? I'll give you a simple example. Sparsh, suppose you are going to buy vegetables. Okay, your mother is sending you for vegetables. तो ऐसे केस में what do they do? What does she tell you? अभी रुक जाओ, यहाँ पे फोकस करो अभी. Now ईस्टर्न और नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न में दोनों में दिया है, तो दोनों में आएगा, right? Which state are you talking about? Sikkim. It is in both. That is why I focused on Sikkim. I put extra emphasis. See this. Okay. Terms of references. Your mother tells कि आलू लेने जा रहे हो 25 रुपए किलो से ऊपर मत लेना, right? You cannot, and if you are going to buy tomatoes, don't buy above 35, right? ऐसा बोलते हैं ना. तो these are your terms of reference. Suppose another better example, if you are buying a mobile phone, your father tells you don't buy above 10 or 15,000 rupees, right? Buy a mobile phone which is the price for which is under rupees 15,000. So this is the term, and they also tell you if they want you to, if they are, you are buying the mobile phone for them, he would tell you कुछ ऐसा phone लेना जिसमें calculator हो, right? Calculator should be there, AIR FM should be there, right? So this is terms of reference are, you have to work within those terms of reference, right? कोई ऐसा सिम फोन लेके आना जो dual SIM हो. So these are, if you go and you say that see, this is a smartphone, it does not have any AIR FM, so you would get a scolding. Why did you not get a phone which is not having FM radio in it, right? So that is the way these kind of recommendations are given, the terms of reference. You, while going to market, when you are in the market, when you are making the final decision, you have to keep those terms of reference in the mind. Clear? So Finance Commission has to keep those terms of reference into its mind. Clear? Is it clear now? Say yes. Or you want me to give the example? ये स्टक गलत टाइम पे क्यों होता है? Now, river water disputes, right? Now, Kaveri water dispute. See everything through the prism of this thing. The Interstate Council or Interstate Water Disputes Act. Kaveri water dispute. Union government in June notified constitution of Kaveri Water Management Authority and Kaveri Water Regulation Commission under the Kaveri Water Management Scheme 2018. Authority will be headquartered at New Delhi, and all the expenses of authority will be borne by concerned state party states. Note down, expenses would not be borne by the central government functions. Authority will decide the sharing of river water among the states of Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu and Union Territory of Puducherry. Kaveri Water Management Authority will determine the total residual storage in the specific reservoirs on June 1 every year. It will regulate It will regulate the water released by Karnataka at Biligundulu gauge and discharge station, right? Water is released by Karnataka in this case, right? Kaveri. Now take suitable actions in case of defaults by party states. If the party states, if the state of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, if they are defaulting on their commitments, then it will take suitable action against. Advise suitable measures. Okay, Piyush, I'm refreshing the browser window from my side. You do the same from your side. Okay, it'll resolve the problem. So give me just 5 seconds, 10 seconds, guys. Now is it fine? Has it got stabilized now? Yes, okay. Piyush and others, is it fine now? Coming back. Advise suitable measures to improve the water use efficiency by promoting micro irrigation, drip and sprinkler irrigation, change in cropping pattern, improved agronomic practices, system deficiency correction and command area development. Right? What is command area? Command area is the area which would be covered by that particular river, dam or reservoir. This is the river which is going, okay, flowing. So command area, right? Talwar murder case, Arushi Himraj murder case, right? So in that also CBI was handed over the case, right? After Noida police had buggered up on that, right? Noida police, the IG, the SSP were transferred in that case. Now come here. Thodi late ho gaye, right, Gaurav? Now composition of Kaveri Water Management Authority. Chairperson will be appointed by the central government, who is a senior and eminent engineer or All India Service Officer with experience in water resources management. So Water Resource Secretary, Ministry of Water Resources, the Secretary of the Ministry has been appointed. Tenure of 5 years or till 65 years of age. 2 whole-time members. then there must be some problem at your end. Okay. Are you watching in the incognito mode? Okay, fine. Now, 6 part-time members, of which 2 represent the central government and 4 from party states. Okay, so just note down its composition, right? This is the factual information which is important for prelims. Do I need to repeat it in a manner that you can memorize? No, fine. This is factual information. Now coming to this, Kaveri Water Regulation Committee will be headquartered at, this committee will be headquartered at Bengaluru, right? Here we are talking about authority. Authority will be headquartered at New Delhi. Committee will be headquartered at Bengaluru, right? It would consist of a chairperson, 1 representative of each of the party states, 1 representative of IMD, 1 representative of Central Water Commission. Rohit, you are here also, huh? Now, you are there in the subscription model also. Am I right? Are you the same, Rohit? Yes. तो अभी जो लोग सब्सक्रिप्शन मॉडल सब्सक्राइब करने वाले हैं, 1-2 दिन रुक जाओ, ठीक है? There would be some good news for you. Now, authority is headquartered at New Delhi. Committee is headquartered at Bengaluru, right? Central Water Resource Commission would act as a technical arm with following functions: collecting data regarding levels, inflows, storages and release of water periodically, right? Preparing seasonal annual report of the water account of southwest monsoon, northeast monsoon, hot weather and submit it to CWMA, right? So Amravati river, tributaries of Kaveri are also incorporated in the same lecture. These are important. So it has happened in the previous years prelims, 4 or 5 years, that dispute is regarding Kaveri. They would ask you the tributaries of Kaveri. Now the job that I leave for you, see the map of Kaveri, Google it out, okay? So whether it left and right, that is what you have to, which tributary is from left or right bank tributary or what's up, or if it cuts any important line, okay, these latitudinal lines are there, right? तो जो rivers cut करती हैं या नहीं करती हैं, clear? Where do they join? थोड़ा बहुत देख लेना. If there is any reserve, biosphere reserve located on any of these rivers, okay, that is your job. How to memorize it? व्हाइट बोर्ड लो, एक 400-500 रुपए का आएगा, अमेजन से ऑर्डर करो व्हाइट बोर्ड, उस पर लिख डालो. स्टिकी नोट लो, पिलो होता है ना, पिलो चेयर, पिलो या कुछ भी, स्टिकी नोट पे इनके नाम लिखो, चिपका डालो, राइट? दिस इज द वे. रिजर्वॉयर होता है, राकेश, हैव यू नॉट डन बेसिक ज्योग्राफी? सी हियर, रिजर्वॉयर इज, दिस इज द फ्लोइंग रिवर, राइट? तो अच्छा, नेम्स ऑफ रिजर्वॉयर्स यू आर सेइंग, फिर भी बता दे रहा हूँ जिन्हें नहीं पता. तो रिवर का पानी जो है, बिफोर द रिवर फॉल्स इनटू बे ऑफ बंगाल एटसेट्रा, तो पानी को ट्रैप करने के लिए रिजर्वॉयर बनाया जाता है गहराई में, डेप्थ, ओके, सो दैट इन द लीन सीजन, इन द ड्राई सीजन, इनफ वाटर फॉर द ड्राई सीजन कुड बी सेव्ड, राइट? पूरे रूम में नोट्स चिपके हैं, वॉल नजर नहीं आती अभी, राइट? सो दैट इज गुड. नाउ इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ CWMA, भूल नहीं जाते, राइट? बार बार उन्हें रिवाइज करो, ऐसा नहीं होगा. कुछ एक्रोनिम बना लो, बट देन दिस इज बेस्ट की. सो इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ CWMA. पार्थ, इट इज अ गजनी नहीं हूँ, राइट? सो it is a permanent body under the Union Ministry of Water Resources. Its decisions are, importance of Kaveri, its decisions are final and binding on all parties. It can help in, I am doing the factual part first, it can help in formulating a comprehensive policy for interstate river water cooperation in other river water disputes. Provide a stable solution to the farmers of the region by ensuring an assured periodic quantum of water for irrigation. Clear? तो ये permanent body है. Decisions are going to be final and binding. Decision, it is not a recommendatory body. Clear? Committee headquartered in Bengaluru, right? Party states chairperson, one representative from each of the party states, the state governments which are involved, right? Now we will talk about Interstate Water Disputes Act. तो ये इसका बैकग्राउंड है, पहले ये देख लेते हैं. तमिलनाडु अपील्ड टू कॉन्स्टिट्यूट अ ट्राइब्यूनल. Recommendations, the allocation of water, recommendations, this is important. Recommendations are not important. This recommendation, how much of water was given, this is not important. Clear? This would never be important for prelims, neither for mains. They would ask you the issues on, they would ask you about the issue involved. The issue is Article 262. Article 262 Clause 2 empowers the Parliament to provide by law, not the President. Empowers the Parliament to provide by law. A law has to be framed by the Parliament that neither Supreme Court nor any other court shall exercise the jurisdiction in respect of any such dispute or complaint. So our constitution makers, they were duly cognizant of the fact that this should not be allowed to happen. That judicialization of judicialization of air has taken place. Judicialization of all other things has taken place. But constitution makers explicitly mentioned that on the basis of law of parliament, this should not happen. That Supreme Court should not. Because there are some disputes which should best be resolved, which would better be resolved by arbitration and conciliation, cooperation. So cooperation was much needed on the issue of water. But because of hands-off approach by the central government, central government has politicized the waters also. Water has got not polluted, it has got politicized. We may save Ganges from pollution, but we may not be able to save the Ganges from the pollution of politicization. Right? समझ में आया? For essay. तो वैसे तो बचा लोगे, नमामि गंगे हो जाएगा, राइट? लेकिन राजनीति गंगे से कैसे बचाओगे, ये प्रॉब्लम है. नाउ इंटरस्टेट रिवर वाटर डिस्प्यूट्स एक्ट हैज अकॉर्डिंगली बीन पास्ड बाय द पार्लियामेंट अंडर आर्टिकल 262. अंडर दिस आर्टिकल द पार्लियामेंट आल्सो एनैक्टेड रिवर बोर्ड्स एक्ट. सो दीज टू एक्ट्स हैव बीन पास्ड, important for prelims, using the article 262. It is not that nothing has been done. Sardar Sarovar Dam, it is the product of this thing only, right? Will was there, but then politicization should have been avoided in this case. Entry 17 of the state list deals with water. Entry 17, right? So sector 17 है वहाँ पे चंडीगढ़ में, right? Very popular. So this is how I remember this. Sector 17, मतलब क्या बोला जाता है कि चंडीगढ़ is a very green area, right? तो हरियाली मतलब सेक्टर 17 पानी हरियाली समथिंग, समझ रहे हो तुम, राइट? सो यू कैन रिमेंबर दैट, राइट? सो दिस इज जस्ट द वे टू रिमेंबर दिस, ठीक है? डोंट गो एनीवेयर. नाउ सेक्टर 17, एंट्री 17, क्लियर? देयर इज नो सेक्टर 13. नाउ कम बैक हियर. हियर वाटर सप्लाई, इरिगेशन, कैनाल, ड्रेनेज, एम्बैंकमेंट्स, वाटर स्टोरेज एंड वाटर. Arisha, you also, huh? Now this is there. Entry 56 of union list gives the power to union government. So 17 of the state list. Entry 17 state list. Clear? Union list ki entry 56 gives the power to the union government to regulate and for the regulation and development of interstate rivers and river valleys to the extent declared by parliament to be expedient in national or public interest. Clear? So this is the map I was talking about. There is another map available on Google. While making those PPTs, I was going through that. So just see these tributaries and distributaries of Kaveri. Distributaries are also important. Now concerns, there is an ambiguous clause in the scheme where if the authority finds that any one of the states is not cooperative, it can seek center's help. And center's decision will be final and binding. It gives ultimate power in the hands of center, which can be used for political gains, as is happening during the before the Karnataka Legislative Assembly elections. Just before that, football was going on, match was going on. Central government was being told by the Supreme Court, frame the guidelines, okay, frame the Karnataka, this Kaveri Water Dispute Authority. Until the last day, until the elections, unless the elections are over, the central government did not do anything. So, water disputes, okay, that is why this explicitly mentioned clause is getting violated. Why? Because if doctrine of checks and balances is there, doctrine of checks and balances in the Constitution of India says that somebody has to do the job. If central government has been mandated, Parliament has passed a law, Interstate Water Disputes Act, according to which central government should be proactive in dealing with this. Not more than 1 year should be allowed to pass before constitution of disputes tribunal. Center should try to resolve the dispute. Clear? But central government keeps on dragging the feet because one or the other election is round the corner. Is it clear? That is why the disputes, they keep on lingering on, and they finally, water also stops at the disputes, they also stop at the door of Supreme Court, right? So this is there. 262 water disputes, all of them 262, right? Shubham. Now, 3 days after Karnataka Assembly election results and 3 months after Supreme Court's order, Centre submitted the scheme in Supreme Court. Okay. Earlier, otherwise we keep on talking about, central government keeps on talking about cooperative federalism, right? Now this is there. Earlier, May 3 deadline was given by the Supreme Court to submit a draft scheme. It shows that Centre was worried about the electoral fate in Karnataka. We cannot blame any particular political party, nor can we blame the leader involved, right? Such delay by the Centre in making crucial decisions was a direct attack on the rule of law and cooperative federalism. This is not what I am saying. The language of Hindu has been copy pasted so that I can save myself, right? You know the dangers involved in saying all this. Now coming back, एक मिनट सुनो यहाँ पे अब प्रॉब्लम क्या है? The institutions of governance, competitive politics feeds into cooperative institutions of governance, I would say. Competition in politics is feeding into institutions of governance. Politics outside the institutions of governance, this is the job of statesmen, right? Statesmen, the great leaders at the state and the central level, or even in the judiciary, they should keep the politics or personal matters outside the institutions of governance. Otherwise, it is bound to lead to malgovernance, because governance would become populist. Jallikattu or Jalkattu, this is water, right? Jallikattu, this was politicized. NEET exam, ordinance was allowed to linger on, right? So on these important issues, the Centre has kept on dragging its feet. No matter the leaders, the individuals are good, but institutions have been politicized, right? That is why they have to be judicialized. Even if there is explicit bar in Article 262, Clause 2 about these things. So that is why the Prime Minister has proposed that there should be simultaneous elections, which itself is idea. Every idea has got arguments against and arguments in favor. Okay, considering the academic requirement of our examination. So we are not wrong when we have to favor an otherwise bad idea. We are not wrong when we have to criticize an otherwise good idea, because our exam UPSC, it requires critical analysis. So I am taking the safe side by saying this line, right? So if ever somebody chances upon this video, you never know the future, right? So this is their troubled waters timeline of Kaveri water dispute 1892. ये थोड़ा सा guys खुद पढ़ोगे, okay? So this was there. Any doubts? Today I am supposed to leave a little early because of some work, okay? I'll end the class in next 1 or 2 minutes after entertaining your doubts. Sorry for today. Please accommodate. Okay. How many of you are watching the session? Test series के videos, the doubt session you're talking about. 11:30 a.m. Tomorrow I'll be taking the doubts class for the first test, जो कि paid test series थी, right? Okay, fine. Kaveri Management Board has now been replaced with this thing. Okay, Varun? 11:30 a.m. Yes, morning time. Okay. Questions were good. Thanks, Ashwani. Keep on providing the feedback. Parth, you are also there in the test series. CBI News in WB. What do you want on that, Arisha? Article 355. Okay. I'll try analyzing. Today I'll be doing the DNA. Don't worry. Okay. आज पक्का DNA कर दूंगा तो उसमें हो जाएगा, राइट? वो करंट अफेयर्स में भी कवर करेंगे. आज DNA ऐसी न्यूज़ कवर हो जाएगी उसमें. डोंट वरी. आई वाज थिंकिंग ऑफ डूइंग DNA इन द मॉर्निंग इटसेल्फ, बट देन आज भी 11:30 बजे क्लास थी तो इसीलिए. सो माय क्लासेस दे स्टार्ट फ्रॉम 11:30 AM एंड दे एंड एट 11 PM, राइट? आई विल कवर दैट न्यूज़. Yes, CBI is Central Bureau of Investigation. Okay, state governments have their own CID. 11:30 a.m. Today it was the class under the subscription model, right? Don't go for like news about subscription. You will get to know. Okay, you will get to know in a day or two. Yes, Sandeep, ये course prelims focus. ये prelims बीच में देखो. If you think that बैंक PO वाले crude facts निकाल के दूंगा, ऐसा एक question नहीं आता prelims में. Let's be clear about that. Last time also, my analysis and others also, they said that 15 to 20 questions from this course and 30 to 33 questions from DNA were there. DNA, because it was regular and all right, so that's why. Now, budget analysis would be done in this course. 15 से 20 question, ऐसे ही people were, they stopped watching this course. They said that this is a mains oriented course. That was wrong, so that was a wrong view they were holding. Okay. Yes, it will be covered here. So that was all today. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye. So good afternoon guys, welcome to this live session. Hope you guys are doing fine. So in this section we are going to cover the parliamentary bills part 3. Now I hope you guys have revised the syllabus and the PDF for parliamentary bills part 3. Has it been uploaded? Word doc. Many of you were requesting for the Word document which is ready now. Word doc upload ho gaya. Word doc I am talking about. 8 minutes. Let me confirm. Santosh. Has it been uploaded? एक बार राहुल को बुलाओ. So let's begin with the discussion. We've already covered very many acts over here, and we are talking about the center-state relations, right? This was a topic which came into discussion. PDF Word doc का upload कर दिया. Word doc. बोलो जल्दी जल्दी करें उन्हें.